in the video, particularly, they're walking him into court, and he's like
handcuffed,
looking all silly there. So
yeah.
so he's having a good laugh at the whole thing.
Hello again and welcome to I've Got a Beatles podcast with Dave and Chris, and it's good to be back after a little summer break. Chris, what did you have? You've got a lot of things going on, I know,
I've had a wonderful summer.
Wonderful summer. Got to move and
going to funerals and just all kinds of crazy stuff. But what a week we've had. I'm preparing a couple podcasts here, and it's been very enjoyable to get back into the groove.
Definitely. And at least both of us can say we haven't been sued for copyright and had to pay a ton of money in court like George Harrison.
I mean, our first 150 episodes with all that music, we almost
True. Good point.
By Spotify.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of a bit of a problem, but at least we could have written a song about it, like the subject of today's podcast, which is Song Under the Microscope. We're going back into the lab, back to 1976 and 1977 for George Harrison's This Song, which is all about, it's kind of his response to the infamous lawsuit against My Sweet Lord and the He's So Fine controversy that he had to deal with. So this is on the album 33 and a Third. And was this a song that you were pretty familiar with or before we started working on it?
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to that album quite a few times over the last few years, especially since I got that $5 copy.
I see that. Yeah.
By the way, that's out. 33 and a Third is one of the ones we talked on a previous episode in the news segment that has been re-released on an official Dark Horse label, and we'll have a link in the comments where if you want to purchase that. It looks like it's cut directly from Analog Tapes as well. It will be, it'd be if you don't have a copy of 33 and a Third. I think, Dave, is that your favorite George Harrison album?
It is actually. It's one we haven't even really talked about. Well, maybe next year for the anniversary we can talk about it. But yeah, it's always been, obviously everybody likes All Things Must Pass, but I think this one just sounds so different and has a lot of really good tunes on it, this being one of them. And of course, we get to talk about a video because it's fun to talk about a video.
Yeah. Well, this is one of these uber specific to George Harrison and almost about George Harrison, the public figure, more than a personal song that connects with people's deep emotions. It's one of these that's about the persona of George Harrison, the person who's going through this thing that almost nobody can relate to, being sued for copyright for writing a song. So it's an odd song as far as that goes.
That's a good point. It's not like Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth or something, or so many other great George songs that are personal but or even My Sweet Lord, that you can relate to a lot of different areas and different people. But and I'm guessing that there aren't a lot of cover songs, kind of like one of our recent ones when we talked about the Yokos. Dear Yoko had no covers.
Yoko, I don't think there's any. I couldn't find any.
No.
Except for, some dude and turns on the videotape and it's brainy and, that kind of thing. But I couldn't find any of this. And rightly so. It's so specific to that George's circumstance that there wouldn't be. It's also, Dave, a song that it makes me think about is Wah Wah, in that here's George going through something that pisses him off, and then he writes a song about it.
Yeah.
So
it's a reaction to something. Very much so.
Yeah.
But yet, even so, you would think, he just got sued for almost $600,000, I think. He must be very angry. Well, no, not really. It's a satirical fun. There's a lot of funny lines and musical quips and allusions, and it's a pretty funky song, I have to say, musically.
Yeah, very tongue-in-cheek as far as
Yeah.
the lyrics and especially the video, obviously very
Oh
humorous,
yeah.
tongue-in-cheek and satirical and satire. Usually you write satire out of some sort of anger or frustration with something. In comedy, you would write satire out of maybe something about the political system that upsets you. Hey, I just came up with a song and they're saying I copied somebody and I don't feel like I copied somebody.
Yeah.
And then we know because we talked recently about Alan Klein of the even more ridiculous aspect of this particular court case of Alan Klein buying out the rights to the other side of the lawsuit.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Bright Tunes. From Bright Tunes was the company that owned or that had the copyright for He's So Fine. And then
Yeah.
Alan Klein ended up buying that. So, yeah, so what happened with that situation?
Yeah. So I guess, yeah. Well, Alan Klein comes out smelling like a rose,
Of
obviously,
course.
because
Yeah.
he's gonna win money no matter what happens. So
Yeah. Just messed up all around.
yeah.
Now, as we said, this is on 33 and a third, and it was one of the singles, the other being Crackerbox Palace. So it's very much of that time and that period when he was on Saturday Night Live with Paul Simon, one of the best
Yeah.
episodes ever. And I think this video actually was shown during the broadcast, if I remember.
I think
But
so, yeah.
in his quote unquote autobiography, I Me Mine, George does talk about this song. So I'm sure you saw that as well, but I wanted to read a little bit from the book here. And I have my Traveling Wilburys bookmark. I don't know why
Oh,
I
yeah.
have that, but it came with
Nice.
it here. So
Yeah. That'll come
uh,
in really handy today.
that's right.
Something else we're recording, but
Exactly. So this is pretty interesting because this hits me as a academic trained musician professor because it's something that I could potentially do someday. George says, after the case in New York over the He's So Fine, My Sweet Lord affair, I wrote this song. It was the end of a nightmarish week, which all in court, which all hinged on two parts of the song, which they had titled Motif A and Motif B. Motif A is the three notes under My Sweet Lord, and Motif B is the really wanna see you part. That, in effect, was the crutch of the infringement, as repetition can't be allowed to constitute further infringement. So they actually had a musicologist in there showing how these songs were so similar. And so then George finishes by saying, uh, they were showing that, and he says, I started to believe, they talked about these for 3 days to the point where I started to believe that maybe they did own these three notes.
yeah.
Like he psyched himself out, but this song was clearly a reaction and as you said, a satirical spoof. So he talk about the lyrics. I want to get your take. Each verse, he kind of brings up this tune, this riff,
Yeah.
this song.
This riff ain't trying to win gold medals.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
What
song
are,
came to me unknowingly. This song could be you.
yeah, could
And
be
we
you, like
capitalized you.
the song
So it
you.
could be his song you from a previous album.
So
So
what are some of your favorite lines, or which lines do you think work the best in the lyrics here?
um this tune ain't bad or good and come ever what may, my expert tells me it's okay.
That's a
I
good
thought that
one.
one particularly is good. And then there's this one part where you can't really hear what he's saying and you have to like look at the lyrics, but Eric Idle is in there
Right.
as playing a character like a lady, as Monty Python always did, playing women.
Yeah.
Could be Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. No, sounds more like Rescue Me.
And to that point, some people have noted the beginning of the song kind of sounds like do 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 do
Yeah.
do sugar pie honey bunch. It kind of has that
Yes.
riff, like spoofing that as
Yeah,
well.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he's having fun with, and then in the video, particularly, they're walking him into court, and he's like
Handcuffed. Yeah.
looking all silly there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's having a laugh at the whole thing.
And musically, this has that 33 and a third band. So you've got Tom Scott, Willie Weeks, and Andy Newmark. A lot. Billy Preston, of course, is
Oh
all
yeah,
over
you
this
almost forgot
track.
Billy
I almost
Preston.
almost forgot Billy there. He's all over this track with some
Yeah.
great organ.
Well,
And
that's Billy. Really, this is a little. I mean, a lot of George songs are guitar driven. This one's super duper piano driven.
oh yeah, yeah,
And also with the organ, these and they have these little breaks where da, da, do 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 do,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
on the organ. So Billy Preston and Willie Weeks stand out a little more in this one, and obviously Tom Scott
Yep.
has a saxophone solo in this.
Yeah. As a
So
former saxophonist, how do you like Tom Scott's solo break there?
yeah, pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I mean, not compared to John Coltrane or anything,
No.
but and then that solo, the second time around, becomes a George guitar solo that isn't really slide guitar-y very much. It's mostly just a straight electric guitar
Yeah.
solo from George. So sounds pretty good. And yeah, so it's sort of a different feel, but in that phylum of, like we've talked about many times, the SNL band, I feel like Tom Scott and the arrangements on some of these mid 70s George albums have that sort of same feel as the Howard Shore
Yeah.
SNL band. So yeah, so
As
it's
the
got that kind
whatever
of
whatever gets you through the night sound
yeah,
too. Yeah.
exactly. Another great example of that, like very bright. Oh, and then the song's not very bright, but they're
Hmm.
playing very like bright and da 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 and very like energetic music.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. So
Yeah. So pretty straightforward, catchy, good melody,
yeah.
and kind of interesting melodic shape on the melody.
Yeah.
But I would say the biggest thing about it is the keyboard driven aspect of it, which a lot of this album is. It's got more of a soul feel, even more like a different kind of soulful feel than Extra Texture. This one I think
Mhm.
it's a little more effective, but yeah, pretty effective lyrically and humorous. So it's George at his satirical, humorous best.
Yeah.
It was released as a single, but didn't do too well. So in the
Mhm.
US, it hit number 25 and then flopped off the charts and didn't even chart in the UK. Do you think that's because it's just so specific? It's just
Yeah, it's so specific that it can't reach the higher tier of, I mean, when you compare it to other George works,
yeah,
it just is never going to get that recognition. It's because it doesn't stick with you that much because it really doesn't it doesn't mean anything to people's lives like, you know,
yeah, My Sweet Lord
many of
or
yeah,
yeah,
many of these other his other works that are either spiritual or personal
right.
about love and things like that. So yeah, it's just I think it's a good song, but not a great song.
No, I
Personally,
would
that's
agree.
yeah.
I would the only song I could sort of compare it to would be "Sue Me, Sue You" Blues, and I like this one a lot better than
Yeah.
that one. It's yeah,
Dude, dude. I
yeah.
do
It's
like the drums on that one. That
oh,
sue
it
me soon.
sounds good. I think this one just has that one's a little sour. This one's not. This song is not sour, uh,
Yeah.
so it's got a different feel to it.
Yeah.
Now
You know what?
we should talk about that video because
Yeah.
there's got a lot of stars in it, and some of your favorite people are in there. I know.
Yeah. So directed by George himself in Los Angeles. And so if you're in Los Angeles in the 70s, you gotta have Harry Nilsson.
Yes, yes.
So
Dressed as a guard.
yeah, that's right. And then you've got Olivia's in it,
Yeah.
and then also Ronnie Wood and Jim Keltner, who we've talked about on the show before, playing the judge.
Who
So
keeps like banging his gavel all the time in the video.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Wood's dressed up as a female character, like the the voices are
Ah,
done by Eric Idle, but it's Ronnie Wood kind of mouthing it. So
Right.
yeah, so that's pretty good. Now there's no, as we mentioned before, there's no cover versions, but there's also a video to watch, which is the 77 Disco, which I guess was some
Oh.
program performance of George lip syncing to it. So he's
Oh.
on stage there and he's just lip syncing, and it's awkward looking now. I mean, these
Yeah.
lip sync performances of yesteryear are very weird to look at to me, but definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Hopefully this will get us excited at some point to do a full 33 and a third discussion because it's a
Yeah.
really interesting album, and especially after the kind of dour Dark Horse and Extra Texture, it really pops off the speakers
Yeah.
much better. So it'll be fun to talk about it.
I don't think we're probably not going to get a big George release this calendar year, especially now with the some news coming
Yeah.
out that we'll talk about here in a minute, and and some other news that we'll probably get soon about the Beatles
Yeah.
releasing something. I don't think we're going to get a big George release, so it might be a great time to, as we have a link in the show notes, to pick this up if you've never had 33 and a third. I
Yeah.
think it's essential to have in your collection.
Definitely. Definitely.
So, yeah, link in the show notes for that. Now,
Excellent.
we will do a quick little, a few bits of news here. We recorded a full episode on the fact that the John Lennon Power to the People set has been announced with some controversy,
A lot of fanfare.
a lot of fanfare, but Power of the People live at the one-to-one concert, the Super Deluxe 9 CD and 3 Blu-ray. We've got a link to that. We also will have a link to the 2 LP, which is just the main highlights of the concert, kind of a hybrid of the afternoon and evening shows of the one-to-one concert, and the live to the one-to-one concert 2 CD, which is the afternoon show and the evening show separately. I think on the Lennon site you can buy those on a bigger, way more expensive LP set. The CD, it's 9 CDs and 3 Blu-rays, so the price is what, 239.
230 is
So
239.
so it's
Yeah.
pretty high, but
Yeah.
might be essential to get. So we'll have links to all that if you want to purchase those. So that's the big news of the week. In that announcement, they also announced that next year there will be video releases of the show, newly edited, which if you've seen any of the clips on YouTube of Come Together, and I think
Well was on there too.
when they did the Record Store Day release,
Yeah.
came out, and they both look so
Oh,
great
definitely.
and
Really good.
sound wonderful. So I'm excited to hear the material that has been released,
Yeah.
despite some people being upset about what was left off of that. But we'll get it. We
Yeah,
had a
that's
full
different, yeah.
conversation of that on our little special episode about the Power to the People release. So we'll refer you to that. Now, sadder news: Bobby Whitlock of Derek and the Dominoes, and of course, has some relation to the Beatles, passes away at 77. He was in the session recordings, I believe, for the Doris Troy, which we talked
Yes,
about.
that's right. He
And
was.
that's how he met the Beatles. And then he was part of the Peace for Christmas concert with John Lennon back in 1969, December 1969. And then became part of Donnie and Donnie, sorry.
Delaney and Bonnie.
Yeah. Yeah, Donnie and Bellini.
Donnie and Bonnie.
Yeah, Delaney and Bonnie, and then that whole crew basically became George's band for the All Things Must Pass. So Bobby Whitlock all over All Things Must Pass, and now unfortunately he has passed away at age 77. So some sad news there.
Yeah, he was a real Southern guy. I think he's from Georgia or Tennessee or something. So real Southern influence, and brought a lot to Derek and the Dominoes, especially that their one album. He
Yeah.
wrote some interesting good songs on there. He and was really close with Clapton and as you said, the Derek and the Dominoes almost became a house band for All Things Must Pass. So he is all over that album, and he talks a lot about it. Later in life, I think maybe it was during COVID, he and his
Hmm.
wife did a bunch of videos, and there's a ton of them on YouTube. And he talks a lot about what All Things Must Pass was like, and playing with Clapton and drugs, and I mean he's very forthright. So interesting guy, and sad news. Good pianist, good singer.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other little bit of news, well, Paul's on tour, of course. Paul added some shows to his tour, so check that out. If I think Las Vegas was
I think
added,
that was what I saw. Yeah.
so I'm sure he'll continue to add shows here and there
Yeah.
as that tour rolls along.
Now,
Uh,
Chris, do you have your $4,000 tickets for Chicago?
I did not get tickets. I've seen him many times. We've seen
Yeah.
him together a couple times, and I think that's about it for me. I'm glad he's out there touring, and if you haven't seen him and can afford it,
Yeah.
I'm moving, so I can afford absolutely nothing right now. So, man, moving.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring up one last bit of news, which is the Magnificent Others, which is I know you're a big fan of this podcast and YouTube video podcast hosted by Billy Corgan, one of your favorites
Oh, big
from
Smashing
Smashing
Pumpkins
Pumpkins,
fan
big
there.
Smashing Pumpkins guy.
Uh,
He's had Gene Simmons on, and he's had
hmm.
some other people on, but he had a great episode, I thought, with Elliot Mintz, who is
Hmm.
as if you don't know who Elliot Mintz is, Elliot Mintz.
Elliot Mintz.
We grew up on Elliot Mintz on the Lost Linen tapes,
Sure
which
did.
was the Westwood One show on the radio. And I love those Elliot Mintz things. And he very dramatically always talked
Yes.
about John. When I visited Yoko at the Dakota, she played me this John Rarity. And
Yes.
then would play the thing. So he tells that I think the clip that's getting a lot of heat is he tells the story of probably the last ever meeting between John and Paul,
Wow.
which was around Christmas time of 1979.
Hmm.
So very interesting, which Elliot was there for.
Yeah.
So he tells a big story about that. So definitely worth if you're, want to dig into some juicy tidbits about John. He's got a book out too, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of autobiography and
Mhm.
a story, yeah, telling about his time with John and Yoko.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the news.
Excellent. Excellent.
I think we're close to getting some news on Beatles release.
Yeah, maybe once the current fervor dies down,
Yeah.
then we'll hear something. But
And it seems like it's going to be anthology.
yeah, that's where things seem to be headed.
Yeah.
So
And it seems like it's not going to be Rubber Soul like everybody
no,
wants. But,
no.
who I'm sure when the anthology news comes out, just like any other new Beatles news comes out, everybody will be very cheerful about it
Oh,
and
absolutely.
not
So
not
grateful.
not bent out of shape at all. Or
Oh, not at all. No, heaping praise on the Beatles camp for sure.
that's right. That's right. So
Uh, well, all right. Well, thanks as always for listening. It's good to be back. We'll be back into a routine here as we move into the fall. And in the meantime, go check out our links for pre-ordering some of the Lennon material or picking up your copy of George Harrison's
mhm.
33 and a third so you can go listen to a fresh, clean pressing of this song.
We also had recently, uploaded a new old episode, which was an absolute epic that we did, where Dave and I talked over the Paul McCartney 7-inch singles
Oh,
set, and
yeah.
we talked about we had all kinds of categories
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
well, anyway, if you want to watch and read that, because it's got the full subtitles to it, which took me quite a while to do.
Yeah.
So watch that on our YouTube channel and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not doing that.
Great. Well, thanks for that. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll be back at you soon with a new episode.